CP3, I believe, call me crazy, but I believe we are live again. Are we live, dude?
I think we are, dog.
Are you sure?
It kind of looks like we are. I think we are live again tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tru Radio right here at WLVS Radio. Man, we are, it's been an amazing week. How's your week been, CP3?
It's been a roller coaster just like life is, ups and downs, but tomorrow's my birthday. It's been a crazy week, but I've persevered no matter what's come at my way. So I feel pretty damn good tonight. How about you?
Well, CP3, first off, happy 107th birthday. You know what I mean? I appreciate it. I was just talking about the stress numbers, not your actual age. Yeah. I know we all know you're really turning 22.
Thank you.
My week has been really chill, actually. I've just been relaxing, keeping an eye on the news, and I will get to that in a second. Mm-hmm. It's our second show right here, and I'm telling you, I'm having the time of my life. Yeah. Seriously, I feel like I'm on, like, because we have the news desk. Some other places we've done live shows, it's kind of a lower setting with different tables. No disrespect, shout out, thank you to everybody who's had us. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I'm like a news desk. So like we're gonna do the news anchor thing one day. See, you're already on it. You already have your notes. I need to have like notes in an iPad out here just to look like, and not even use them, but just to have
just
it
to look
like
important.
Yeah, just to look important.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, my week has been great. I really did some relaxing. Mm-hmm. Talked to Crazy Baby, my daughter. Who it's funny, we FaceTimed, and mm-hmm. I was maybe really tired and maybe a little intoxicated. We were FaceTiming, and she goes, "Open your eyes, Daddy. You look sleepy." I was like, okay, well, So I opened my eyes, and she's like, "You look tired, Daddy." And I was like, damn it.
She's becoming like her mother already.
Like she already knew I was trying to go to sleep. But yeah, man. So that's been my week, man. Real quick, congratulations to the Redskins.
Yes, most
they did
definitely.
their thing. Still number 1, correct?
Yes, sir. 6-3.
All right, cool. Well, you ready to get this show on the road?
You know it, as always.
Let's do it. Let's do something fun. Watch this. We have a special guest in the building. Stu, you want to come on up just to say what's up?
Introduce yourself.
He didn't know. Look.
Big Stu. Good friend of the show and network, as always.
Yeah, very, very, very staunch supporter. Damn near member of the network.
Pretty much.
Real fast, Sheeta P has not joined us again. She is still taking care of her family emergency. Shout out to Gigi. Mm-hmm. That's her lovely grandmother. And she is amazing. And look at that style and that class. And I remember, like, even I've met her and I've talked to her. So, she had a bad week and things didn't go so well after her emergency, and that's what their family's taking care of. And much love and shout out to you, Sheeta P, and much love to your family and thoughts and prayers as always. And I asked her if I could use that picture. I didn't just I made sure she's okay with it.
It's all respectful.
Absolutely, and she's such a fly woman.
Mm-hmm.
So. And then we lost Stan Lee too.
Oh yes,
as well.
Yes, that's a major loss for. I know you personally, because I know you're a Marvel head. I wasn't really a comic book guy, but he definitely reached my life because I enjoy the movies, even though I know nothing about it. They're still entertaining movies, and I love to see those cameos that he would pop up doing something crazy, then unexpected, but then he'll just be there.
I'll tell you this. Here's one thing about Stan Lee a lot of people don't understand is, and we're going to get to the show in a second, folks. And it's our show. We'll get to the show. We want to get to the show. Okay?
Pretty much.
But one thing about Stan Lee, there is not a single human being that Stan Lee did not touch in some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. There's something that he has taught or touched or inspired in every single human being. Mm-hmm. And so much love to Stan Lee. All right, let's get to the show.
You ready?
Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of water.
Yeah. I know what you about to go into.
And I'm gonna talk to our president. Okay, I'm gonna talk to our president really fast.
All right. Just don't mention any 3 letters.
Well, that's your thing. You know what I mean? CPIA. Excuse my cough, folks. It's cold. The weather's changing. It's crazy out here. Mr. President and Mr. Donald Trump. Right. I am not your biggest supporter, but I'm also not your biggest enemy, right? As everyone in the world knows, I do lean conservative. Used to be a Republican, but, I had to get away from them when the Tea Party started sparking up. You guys got crazy over there, and then now it's total crazy town, but crazy town worked because You're unified in your craziness. And I get that. You know, the Democratic Party is still divided and separate. They're still trying to get it back together, and good luck with them. And they better keep Hillary off the scene. I don't want to talk to you about taxes, Mr. President. I don't want to talk to you about unemployment, which is cool, by the way. I don't want to talk to you about infrastructure. I don't want to talk to you about the caravan or immigration or the wall. There's only one thing I want to talk to you about, Mr. President, and what I want to talk to you about is the wildfires in California. Now, I generally respect the office of the presidency, no matter who's in it. I still respect the office. So I generally don't insult or, do all this stuff that people say about certain presidents, be it George Bush or Barack Obama or even you, Donald Trump. My issue is the California wildfires. Mr. President, there are 42 plus, I'm sure there's more by now. It was 42 this morning. I'm sure there's more by now. There are 42 Americans reported dead. Okay? There's 200 plus Americans missing. They're just, no one knows what 200 people are. Right? And what you choose to do is, that's my new thing, by the way. And what you choose to do is actually blame poor forest management. And okay, let's say it was true. Let's say that's true, Mr. President. Let's say 100% is poor forest management, which is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. But let's just say it's true. The federal government, sir, covers roughly about 60% of the funding for forest management. So it's still your fault.
That he cut.
It's still your fault. And what I would like to see from my leader, right, the guy who runs the country, I'm not one of those not my president guys. If you sit in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, you're the president. I can't imaginarily say he's just not my president. Is imaginarily a word? I don't know. Right? So
it is now.
It is. Now. But how about this? How about you take some of the 15,000 people that are headed towards the border, right, to stop these immigrants from coming in, and tell them to just keep going straight and head to California and help with the wildfires? Mm-hmm. How can you threaten to cut or reduce the funding for the people out there? Why are there inmates? They actually have to, I don't know if everybody knows this, they actually have a squad of inmates, like in prison, that just literally in prison, that come out and help with the fires because they're so underfunded. So why don't you just get your shit together, man? And why don't you just really act like you care? These are American citizens. I'm not worried about Syrian refugees right now. I'm not worried about the caravan right now. I'm not worried about what's happening in Ethiopia. I'm not worried about Somalia. I'm not worried about any of these other countries right now. What I'm asking you right now is to at least, we know you're not a big fan of the immigrants. We know that. We get it. We totally get it, right? Just take care of Americans, goddammit. Let's just start there. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask, CP3?
From this president, yes, it is too much to ask, because you see what he's about. He's about himself. He's about propping himself up. We're not even going to get into the whole press corps issue with him banning a CNN reporter and calling out some, unfortunately, African-American reporters and calling them stupid and telling them they're bad writers and losers. We're not even going to talk about that, because that's who this man is. He's an egomaniac, spoiled brat that's always had his way, that doesn't know how to talk to the common man or even associate or even think on that common man's level. So to think that he would say, okay, let's go help these people and send some help, that's not, he'll get his butler to do it. That mindset doesn't even go to him. So it's mind-blowing how his whole base is blindly following and don't have any objections to some of the stuff that he says, and they defend it. It's mind-blowing, and it's hilarious at the same time, and scary, because when you put party over country, we all lose.
And you're absolutely right. And one thing that really gets to me, and it's just that you can actually sit there and attack the media, but it's not even, we're not even doing all that today. But you can't attack the media and alienate the press, even if it is shitty CNN. You know what I mean? You just can't do it. There's freedom of the press. But, and my thing is knowing that, let's say there was a catastrophe, right? You normally see your president out there, heart goes out, we're sending down the National Guard, we're doing this, we're gonna release FEMA. Have you even heard the word FEMA associated with these wildfires right now?
You haven't heard anything.
It's not in the reports. It's just like, oh, hey, well, So normally they're sending FEMA down and getting all this stuff done, and then you'll see firefighters coming from other states and all this, just the passion and the drive that really is the good in America. There's a lot of bad, but the good comes together in these times of tragedy. And normally boats are pulling up. I'm sorry, not boats, but like aircraft carriers. The giant boat, the medical boat. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah,
the
medical.
Yeah.
It's
we can get that. We can get that the boat, like, it's a floating hospital basically,
pretty
folks.
much,
Okay, I'm stumbling here because I'm a little emotional about this, but we can get that to Iraq in a heartbeat, but we can't get it to the coast of California. Right here, we can't do that. You know what I mean? So it's just like I just wish, and I know I'm wishing on the stars. It's not gonna happen, right? But I just wish that our president for once would stand up, and now is the perfect time to do it, and he just refuses to do so.
Too caught up on himself.
He just refuses. He refuses.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. And so, like, I've never disrespected a president, right? And I'm trying not to right now. But I would say this, Mr. President, for the love of Christ, or science for the left out there, okay? Get your shit together, Mr. President. Get your shit together and take care of Americans, at least. And that's it. That's all I got, CP3.
Well, I just got to say one thing. You're never going to say that he's not my president. I've never made that claim, but he's the president of the country, but I'm not claiming him, but I know who he is. So I'm just not claiming him. So I just got to say I'm not one of those guys. He's not my president. That's, that's good to say, but it is what it is. I just not claiming him like that, old uncle that nobody wants to talk about that used to, get drunk and do some things that we ain't want to talk about. But I mean, it's a sad state of this country that, like you say, he's more concerned about degrading reporters or banning reporters and showing doctored footage of video instead of looking out for his, fellow countrymen that's there to support him and supposed to be the citizens he's supposed to care for as the president of the United States. And all he cares about is, fake news, and they view me in a negative light, and they're always coming after me instead of just talking about the real stuff. And it's just, I don't know how you deal with it in the political world. That's why I stay in the sports. It makes a little bit more sense over here.
Well, I don't have to worry about Jay Gruden. I'd rather worry about Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, okay. Yeah, you're right.
That was a fast answer, dude. No, but and the same thing with California. It's just like, so are you just shitting on California because they didn't, go for you? California, obviously, heavy Democratic state. Mm-hmm. They didn't go for Trump, of course not. And, the Republicans can't get any wins in there, So is that why you're just blatantly shitting on them? And meanwhile, you're sending, again, I said it last week, I'll say it today, more troops to Texas than we have in Afghanistan for the border, right? That's just a fact. I might say that every show because it's so ridiculous that I can't understand it. Speaking of Jay Gruden.
Yeah, nice segue.
Yeah, that was we did that because we was about to have a whole we hate the president meltdown.
Yeah, we
were that close, folks. We were that close.
We almost hit the button.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yes, it was a ugly win. A lot of folks don't like that saying when I say I will take an ugly win over a pretty loss any day, but this was definitely an ugly win. The defense balled out, stood up, did what they had to do, gave up a lot of yards, but didn't give up points, which is all that matters at the end of the game, is that you have more points than the opponent when the clock reaches 000. That's it. not how many yards a quarterback threw for and all of this other stuff. It's a win. Enjoy it, people. But we have a tough matchup coming up this Sunday versus Houston, which is also a 6-3 team. They're on a 5-game winning streak after they started out a little slow. They have a nice young quarterback that's mobile, which we know usually gives the Redskins an issue. But the Redskins defense has been playing well. Texans also have a stout defense. So this is definitely going to be a game on Jay's shoulders that he's going to have to coach it, game plan it, and execute it with his play calls to put these guys in a position to win. And on a pleasant note, I mentioned on our Monday night show, Sports on the Hill podcast, every Monday night, 7 to 9, I've been shouting out the punter, Tress Way, because he's been doing a great job. And no one speaks about special teams until they screw up. So I've been shouting him out for the last couple of weeks. And apparently, somebody's been listening to the show because he received Special Teams Player of the Week for the NFC this week, having a great game against the Buccaneers with a 47.8 net yard average on the punt and having 4 punts inside the 20, which is great. I know you don't know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea. Let me tell you something. I have no idea what 4 punts inside the 20 means. That's the great. I was like, okay, 4 punts inside the 20. But let me ask you this though, real quick, and not to jump into
no, go ahead.
Your encyclopedia of sports knowledge that we have today. So could the Redskins put out the fire? I'm just kidding. No. Going against a team like Houston, right? Because I know. Here's one thing I do know about football, right? There are teams that are weak against the running game, and there are teams that are weak against the passing game. Now, going up against Houston, what would you suggest the Redskins' strategy is?
Well, with the Redskins' offensive line issues, even though the offensive line played very well with the new players that was in place, he's going to have to stick with the run. Houston has a stout defense on the run and against the pass. They're one of those teams that have it on both facets of it, but if you can get ahead of them and force them into a one-dimensional game, you might get an advantage. But they're going to play you tough to the end of the game. So Jay's definitely going to have to be on his P's and Q's of this game because they have a nice coach down there that's offensively minded, and we know what happens when Jay goes up against another so-called offensively minded coach. He tries to do a little too much and get outside of himself. So I'm hoping he doesn't do that. Stick with the run, let the defense do what they've been doing, and let the chips fall where they may. Last week, like I said, it wasn't a pretty game, but it was a win. When he does a good job and it's a win, I'm going to pat him on his back. When he does something stupid, I'm going to put my foot in his throat like I do every week.
Okay. Well, please continue with your notes.
All right. And also, for the NHL fans, we have a Capitals. I know you already know Tom Wilson was back last night against Minnesota. The league's independent arbitrator, which we spoke about last week, reduced his penalty from his suspension from 20 games to 14, being that last night's game was game 16. He was eligible to play immediately, and he made an immediate impact in the game with 1 goal and ended up getting into a fight, which I say it was a draw because he was fighting against another powerhouse that has good skills on the ice. It was more of a momentum thing for Minnesota. They were coming out flat. The Caps had just went up 3-1. So basically they stood at the middle of the ice and said, you trying to go? You trying to go? Drop the gloves and they went. So it was a hell of a game. Caps came out on top, winning 5-2. Tonight they're facing Winnipeg starting at 8 o'clock. I haven't got a scoring update. Robbie must be busy. I know if he was watching, he would give me a scoring update. But they're currently playing Minnesota, who is also having a good season. They have a good young team with a nice core. Last year they got put out of the playoffs a little earlier than expected, but they have a good foundation. They have a nice young team and a good coach. So it's definitely going to be a test for the Caps, but after the way they played with Tom Wilson coming back into the lineup and everybody falling into their slot, they look like the team that won the Stanley Cup last year. That's the first time they looked like that this year. So I forgot to set my DVR again before I left. So I'll watch the highlights when I get home, and we'll definitely break it down on Monday night's episode. And more of the Redskins breakdown tomorrow night on my Facebook Live when I do the Redskins weekly preview breakdown for the Houston Texans. We go position by position and grade the game and see who's going to come out on top.
I tell you, it's exciting to hear the Caps are starting to look like themselves again because last year, when I was bartending, let me tell you, folks. I was bartending like a block away from the Verizon Center. That money was redonkulous.
Yeah,
okay, it was ridiculous because the whole playoffs. Normally you would have a crowded bar right before a Caps game, right? And after, obviously, because everybody would leave and go to the game. But all the playoff games were sold out, so the bar would be packed, and the people would just stay and watch the game and just spend and spend and spend. So I know they put a ton of money into DC, Caps fans and all that, and opposing team fans as well. But I think it'd be great for them to get back on their game. I'm glad you say they're getting back on their game because so much money pours into the city, and that helps out a lot. I mean, you're talking your restaurant workers, people getting overtime. Public transportation, Metro's making money. Lyft drivers, Uber drivers, everyone's just making money Airbnb. When the Caps roll. And since there's only one good DC team,
one championship DC team. Right? Well, there are more than one championship DC teams. You got the DC Divas. They've won some championships. The Valor won a championship last year, even though they went 2-10 and made the playoffs. But they won a championship. Okay. They hoisted a trophy.
We love DC sports teams. Yes, so indeed. I'm not going to harp on the Valors.
And we do have credentials for the Valor, so yeah, you can't crap on the Valor.
Yeah, love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for the media credentials. Yes. I'm going to be at one of those games, by the way, and I won't be sober. No, I'll be honest with you. No, he's not. I'm going to one. Just for the media pass. Screenshot. That's really it. But,
all right. We get him to the game. We know we go on Facebook Live if I get him to a Arena Football League game.
Looking just like this, everyone. Thank you.
Wouldn't have it no other way, man.
Thank you.
And just one more, I can't say bright spot, but there's also one other professional team playing in the city right now called the Washington Wizards.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
If you follow the show, I'm not a big NBA guy, but I've been watching them lately because, I want to get involved in the round tables when we have them on our show. And Dwight Howard has come back. They've won 2 in a row, which is a good thing. They're looking for their 5th win of the season tonight. They're currently sitting 4-9. They're going up against the Cavs tonight. I believe it was at 8 o'clock. The Cavs are 2-11. So, post LeBron, So this should be a winnable game for the Wiz. They've been playing better. You've been seeing more defensive stretches, but they're still not where they should be in this weak Eastern Conference. I still feel they need a veteran presence. I'll ask the question to some of the panel. Is there a veteran out there that can help this team, get them to learn how to be a better team? Because you have a lot of young, talented players that really have no leadership and no one to follow. So sometimes they freelance, they don't play defense, and they definitely don't play team defense. So you need something that's going to try to solidify that team and make them become more of a team because they have too much talent and too many max contracts to have a 4-9 record right now.
Well, here's the thing about your veteran question. It's a good question, but I feel like, and this is, I'm not trying to knock DC teams, but I feel like there's a kind of a DC sports mentality where even if a veteran comes to town, too much pressure is put on the veteran, and then next thing you know, he becomes the most unpopular person in the world, and we run him out of town. Is that...
That has been the history, but previously when they signed Paul Pierce, who... ex-Boston Celtic to champion. They signed him to 1 year. They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. But then they didn't sign him again, and then the team fell apart after that. That one, not saying that he was the end-all, but you saw the impact of having a veteran leader that knows how to win, that knows how to tell, hey, John Wall, shut up. Hey, Bradley, shut up and sit down and listen. He took control of that team. And I think that's what they need right now because you have, the point guard is usually the leader of the team. And you already have some type of, I don't want to say friction between Bill and Wall, but they're not the Jordan and Pippen combo that you would want them to be.
Sure.
So I still haven't really figured out their dynamic, but if they can get on the same page and play some defense and let those, let them run and do what they need to do, I think they can do something. Honestly, I think Ernie Grunfeld is the problem. I mean, he's been there for a long time, and he's made a lot more misses than hits. And the way he keeps a job, he's got to have some photos or some videotape on Leonsis to keep a job because I don't know how he keeps a job, honestly, because I could do better, and I don't even follow the NBA.
Well, he's probably been hanging out with Putin. That's how everybody keeps their job these days. What I would say is, so basically they're looking for that locker room leader, and that goes the same with pretty much any team or sport or pretty much even work. There's always a back room leader, an office leader, what have you. So so basically they need that locker room leader, and it would be better if it's a veteran. And I would hope if they did, kind of establish one or find one or recruit one, or if somebody could actually make themselves one, or the coaching staff could build one, because that's also possible.
Yes, it
folks,
is.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's just how leadership works. But like, even if they recruited a veteran, I hope they will just let that person really run the locker room.
Oh, it wouldn't be no doubt.
And that even happens in wrestling. I mean, you've seen the decline of the WWE and stuff. Well, maybe you haven't.
I've seen a little.
But it's the same thing. You can tell when there's a locker room leader and when there's not one. And it's all about morale.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's true. I mean, but when you have a veteran, like I said, like a Paul Pierce, who has that credentials, and they know you're not going to get any pushback about who's going to be the leader. When he walks in, they're automatically going to shut up and sit down. That's kind of how the locker room goes. That when you have someone of that caliber comes in, and you're not even going to dare to challenge him, because he will basically squash you like a grape, and everybody will have his back because everyone knows that's how the locker room goes.
Sounds good.
Yeah. But that's pretty much all I have for the three sports. Like I said, tune in this coming week for the Redskins weekly breakdown of the Houston Texans game, week 11. Tune in Sunday where Robbie and myself will be at the game, tailgating, doing our pregame show, possibly doing our postgame show, because there's another network there that broadcasts theirs after the game. So stay tuned. You might see some type of, I'm not going to say altercation, but there might be a post-game versus post-game. I might do a little something to maybe, get them to notice me on post-game live and let them know the Sports on the Hill podcast is coming for them.
Good Lord.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, man. So here's one thing. Mm-hmm. So this man brought like a whole
man,
encyclopedia of notes.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and
but you ran it down fast, though. That was pretty cool. I thought,
like I said, it was only going to be like 10 minutes. You thought it was going to be like 30.
I didn't know. You know what I mean? Folks, I'll tell you this much. One thing that's really wild that I heard about, and this is on Sheet of Peace angle, the whole celebrity gossip and all that, was that, and this is the weirdest thing ever, right? Like, so 6ix9ine, Kanye West, and it was supposed to be Nicki Minaj. We're supposed to do a video together, right, at 6ix9ine spot. Nicki Minaj was late, and Kanye and 6ix9ine were like kind of all the way in the back. And that's even weird saying Kanye and 6ix9ine. That just didn't sound right.
I refuse to say that name.
Okay. So, but when two cars rolled up and two guys hopped out, and they tried to get into the property, but the gate was there, so they just shot over the gate. And you can hear a guy in the video saying, "We only got 30 seconds." And one of the bullets actually struck the window where Nicki Minaj was supposed to be getting dressed, or her dressing room, her area, whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody was injured.
Luckily.
Yeah, luckily. But at the same time, I'm sitting there trying to figure this out. I'm trying to think this through, and I'm like, damn, they all have so many haters. Like, everyone hates 6ix9ine.
Yep.
Everyone hates Kanye.
Of course.
And everyone hates, well, not everyone hates Nicki, but like Nicki has, between the Nicki and Cardi and, all that monkey business. Like, so they all have their haters. So it's just like, I'm trying to figure out which one were they really looking for, or were they just looking for a party? And then how did they know they were there at the same time?
It's all, in that world, like you say, you don't know who's the beef is for. Is it for Kanye with him doing some of the stuff that he's done lately with the political angle on somebody, I'm gonna show this fool. Is it the dude 6ix9ine or whatever, who I have no idea who he is? I just know he got tattoos on his face.
He's pretty entertaining, actually.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
He's not like a great MC, but he's entertaining. You know what I mean? Like, you have to kind of.
Then why is he?
You have to kind of.
That's a whole nother conversation we have on another show, because we're going to go in on a music show. I'm sorry, but I have a different view of the music industry than probably most folks. So we're definitely going to have a show where we're going to dig deep into that, and I'm probably going to ruffle some feathers. But you know what? Call in. We can talk about it. But they all have beef, so I don't even know what to think of it. Just the fact that it's a video shoot. You got people that, makeup people, camera guys they're just doing their job. They could get caught up in some nonsense for who knows what reason. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just wild.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I was just like, I was really concerned about Kanye. Okay, first off, everyone, let me be honest with you. Okay, I'm a Kanye West fanatic. All right, let's get that out in the air. Okay,
yes.
Right. And I did not mind when he. I'm getting ready to tie this in. Watch this. And I did not mind when he did the whole "Making America Great Again" spiel with the hat on. Okay, I did not mind at all. Like, people were mad at him, and
it was mad.
And
big mad.
Mental illness and all these, because everybody became an overnight internet mental illness expert.
Of course,
everybody was so smart about, like, you know what I mean?
WebMD.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he's showing signs of bipolar. That's okay. He's admitted he's bipolar, by the way, but people are saying he's showing signs of it. Whatever, right? Yeah. Now. Okay, just a little bit of Kanye, like a little bit, a little celebrity stuff, right? Yeah, okay. So, do you know that Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, he actually, they actually spent money and they hired a private firefighter team. We're back on the wildfires. They hired a private firefighter team, and they dug trenches around the neighborhood, and they saved their neighborhood. I don't care what anybody says. That's cool. That's cool. So again, and I posted today on my wall. You can check me out, Black GOP or Jason Terrell on Facebook. And I posted. I said, so is he off his meds again? And or is he showing signs of mental illness? Like, tune in for the next episode of Kanye West Z. That's a Dragon Ball Z thing, folks, for the anime people out there, because there's a level of genius to everything he does, right? From his music to to whatever, to his even when he was doing the whole Donald Trump spiel, right, which landed him in the Oval Office, mind you. Let me know when your favorite rapper ends up in the Oval Office. Stop, everyone. What your favorite rapper, Oval Office? No, okay, we're good, right? So, and then he saved the neighborhood, and that's just cool. That's so I don't. I mean, and I know he's nuts, but like they said, Albert Einstein was nuts. I'm not comparing Kanye to Albert Einstein, by the way.
But I'm saying, I've never thought Kanye was nuts. As we said over and over again, I feel like Kanye is just like the Black Donald Trump. He stays relevant by saying crazy stuff. He finds a way to make money, and he's enjoying life just being an asshole. So I mean, I'm an asshole, but I wish I could do some of the stuff that he could do, because then everybody be hating me on a larger scale, which is what you want sometimes when you're in that mindset. Just think about where he came from and how he fought his way through the music industry to build it up to be one of the top producers, and then have all of these people turn on him for his political views. Some of the assholeness is going to come out. And then for him doing the firefighter thing, that was probably another jab at him. Like, yeah, okay, I'm crazy. Yeah, but I just saved y'all neighborhood. Now, like, you got to say thank you.
Boom. It's great. It's genius.
And then he's gonna probably drop some new shoes next week.
Yeah, he's gonna drop
some fire boots.
Yeah, he's gonna
have some Kanye fire boots. Some see it.
Some Yeezy fire boots.
Yeah, 3,500.
I give me a pair, and then he'll give them to all the victims of the California wildfire. He'll just donate them. Yeah, and I'll get a pair. I will.
Hey,
red with a gold stripe. They'd actually match the colors of this.
If they're over $80, I'm not buying them.
Well, they're probably like $450.
They're gonna be like $6,000. Man, some of the stuff that they put out, man, I'm like, I still want to know. Okay, we're gonna get a little fast here.
Okay.
Why are folks paying $80, $90 for these jeans that got holes cut in them? Okay, you're paying for less material off the break, and you're paying more money for a regular pair of jeans. I don't understand this new culture of spending money for less value. I mean, I would not go buy a pair of jeans with holes in them for $90.
Okay, I'm not.
I don't get it.
I'm not about to sit here in front and talk bad about these kids, okay? Because when I was coming up, there was they were called used jeans.
Yeah.
They had rips in them, right? And there was like Cornici. I don't even know if I'm saying it right.
I had a pair of those.
Since and I would make my mom, who was making probably $35,000 a year, maybe $40. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And paying for us to live in this really good area in Alexandria, Virginia. Mm-hmm. And I would stress her to go get clothes that already had rips in them. So I can't pick on I have to be honest. I can't like insult the kids who are doing it now, because like from a fashion standpoint, Hey Sheeta, from a fashion standpoint, like everybody, I feel like right now there is no style. You know, like right now, I think you can wear what you want now. You know, hence the kids with the skinny jeans, right? I'll pick on you guys, okay? But the rips, I can't, because I did it too. I remember, let me tell you a funny story about that, the ripped jean stuff. There was this like, and it was fly, y'all, okay? Like I was a fly. I used to care about how I dress. I don't anymore, right? Because I'm an old man, right? But like there was this fly outfit. It was like a black shirt and black jeans, and it was a used outfit, right? It was from the company used. It wasn't like Goodwill used, right? And like, so I begged my mom to get it, and like all together, I think it cost like $150, right? It was like ridiculous, but that's all she got for me for my school clothes. That's it. So you want the sad basketball? I need this for school. School's about to start. I gotta look fresh out here. You know, I gotta go get my, you know what I'm saying? And so, but that's all she got, and just let me I had to mix in the old clothes from last year, and you know, yeah, that happened.
See, I was never a real fashion person. My sister was, I wasn't. I was pretty much, but I was colorblind, so my selection was pretty much limited. And it was only, a few times when I went to school not matching that I had to learn that I'm only going to wear 4 colors: blue, white, gray, or black, because they always match if you put them together. After that, everything became seamless for me. I've been good since now. It was like the 9th grade.
Yeah, I generally stick with black, as you guys will see. It's my thing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But so moving right along.
Let's see. What else should we delve into tonight?
I'll tell you what's funny, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, can we like women?
Oh boy.
You know.
Ooh, okay. Let me open that can of worms.
I need to tell you this story, girl. Right? Okay, and this is a very important story for me. You know what I mean? All right, and because I had this little young joint come through, right? And she was not like, okay, right? She's like 26-ish, right? Okay, and so like at this moment in time, I'm unemployed. All right, and it's pretty cool. I'm having a great time, by the way. I'm like the busiest unemployed man in the world, right?
It's pretty fun.
It's actually really cool. I've never done it. I've worked like 20 years straight.
Yeah.
So she comes through and she knows I'm unemployed, right? And she's like, well, I'll come through and I'll cook for you and what have you. And I said, oh, that's so cool. Swing by then, And Carol, she comes in. And I'm sorry, CP3. Excuse me. Excuse the French. And she comes in with like a McDonald's bag, right? And so I was like, okay, well, she's a millennial, right? Okay. Maybe she didn't feel like cooking. I said, maybe she just bought us McDonald's. That's fine,
okay,
right?
Okay.
And then she proceeds. Okay, this really happened, right? and yes, she was black, Stewie. I hear you over there.
I haven't heard this story before.
Yeah, because I don't talk about it. And I didn't know I was going to talk about it tonight. Look at Stuart. Stuart's dying over there off camera. So she pulls out her food of the bag, right? I was like, oh, hey, I'm sure. I'm sure I got some food in that bag, And that was it. And the sound when a McDonald's bag crumples up? We all know that sound, right? I was never so pissed off in my life. I was like, I just got carried over some goddamn McDonald's. So I'm sitting like, okay, well, maybe she's not that hungry. And she's going to like give me half of the burger. She had like a chicken sandwich or something. I was like, maybe she's going to hook it up. Maybe she's like, oh, you want, I can split this. Come down, I can split McDonald's. It's so filling. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or she had the large fries. Nothing. She just crushed in front of me. She just crushed.
Hold up.
She just bodied her food in front of me. I was so mad.
I gotta hit the Nate dog. Hold up, dog. Hold up. So,
yes,
she decided to come over to spend some time with you.
Yes.
And she knows you're unemployed.
Yes.
So she knows things are tight.
Yes.
And she proceeds to come over.
Offered to cook, mind you.
Yeah, offered to cook.
I
forgot that. Yes. that was the thing that threw me off with the McDonald's. Okay, offered to cook. Then comes in with a bag of McDonald's for one.
Yeah.
Then proceeds to eat it in your living room.
Don't forget the crumpled bag sound. Don't forget the crumpled bag sound.
That also matched the heartbreaking of nothing being in the bag for you. And then what happened after she finished the food?
I faked some time. I think I gave it like 2 hours just of hanging out, and then I was like, "Hey, have a great night," Because I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mad.
But whatever happened to the dinner?
I went to 7-Eleven after she left and got myself something to eat. That's what happened. I think I went and got like a chicken Caesar salad, one of those, like the 7-Eleven chicken Caesar salads.
Man, them things are handy.
They work with I don't even know if that's chicken. It's just like it's like gumdrop wrapper, but like that's what I had to do.
Food is sustenance, man. As long as it fuels your body, they call it chicken. Take it as chicken. Unless you test it and it's something else, then we'll talk about that.
Is this tofu? What am I eating right now?
Oh, boy.
No.
We had a conversation about tofu. I've never had it. I never will, but...
It's terrible.
I
don't let any of these vegan, soy-loving people... No. They're good people, right?
Yeah, they are.
Don't let any of them convince you that anything that looks like meat but isn't meat is good. It's all disgusting. I've tried a lot of it.
I'll say this. Vegans, keep doing what you're doing because I love a good steak. I love a pork chop. Thanksgiving around the corner, I'm going to love some turkey too. So keep eating your grass and berries and stuff y'all eat. I don't have no problem, taking care of the rest of it. So good health. You're going to die from something. I mean, if it's from eating. We work every day. That could kill us. We still do it every day. So, I mean, hey, I'm going to eat some chitlins on Thanksgiving too. I
don't do chitlins, dude. You're a chitlin guy?
Man, I used to be chillin' and pig.
Thank you for tuning in, every.
Hey, man, my folks are from down south, man. That big tub of chitlins right before Thanksgiving, and you got that smell going through the house that you hate, but at the end of the day, when they finish, what it's going to taste like. It makes it all worthwhile.
I don't know. I grew up eating chitlins and pig's feet and all that stuff. Once I got older, I just lost the love for it.
You gotta have it every once in a while, man. Rejuvenate you.
My first fiance, engaged twice, never married, everyone. Thank you. My first fiance, her family is right over on Minnesota Ave, so we were over there. Great Thanksgiving, right? Amazing Thanksgiving. And so they got the fellas there and everything, and so I'm going down the line and getting all this amazing food, the collard greens, the chicken, the potatoes, everything, right?
Yeah.
The potato salad and all that. And I get to the section, like the section with like the pig's feet and the hog maw and the chitlins, and I stop and then I walk past the section, right? So I hear them laughing, and I look back because they thought I was a snooty black dude, right?
Yeah,
which I'm not, by the way. Yeah. I just, yeah. So I get over there and I turn around and I laugh. I mean, they're laughing, and I turn around and I say, "Oh, what's so funny, everybody?" They're like, "We knew you wasn't gonna touch that pig," So they're making fun of me. And so I jokingly, CP3, I jokingly said, "Well, I'm a free black man. I don't have to eat slave food anymore."
Oh,
right?
Boy.
And it just rolled off my tongue. Ooh. Right, because my sense of humor. But I said it, and the second I said it, everybody stopped.
I bet forks dropped and everything.
And her 350-pound out of prison big ass brother was like, "So you calling the slaves, nigga?" I was like, "No, whoa, no, I'm not."
He about to take your cocktail fruit.
This dude was big, Care. I ain't had time for all that.
Hey man, chop him in the knee, chop in the throat, and a kick in the knee, take down any man, bro. You know that. Oh man, that's. I mean, I have some folks that don't choose to eat it for whatever reasons, health reasons as they say. You call it slave food. It's the leftovers from the pig or whatever. I mean, whatever reason you have for whatever, that's on you. I mean, if I want to eat it, I'm going to eat it. If I don't, I don't. I'm not going to judge you or talk bad about you because if you do or you don't, it is. People are who they are, man.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I've tried it, and like I said, I grew up on it, but like now bacon. Bacon is life. That's a whole nother conversation. But I generally think that once I got older, my taste buds changed. You know what I mean? I think that like chitlins is more about the vinegar and hot sauce than it's the actual meat. It's kind of like liver. I used to love liver. You know what I mean?
Ooh, no.
But when I got older, liver is more about like the actual onions and like the sauce or whatever you put on it than the actual meat itself. And that's just kind of
Liver should not be meant for human consumption.
It shouldn't.
No, that
I used to be okay with it when I was younger.
I got fooled as a kid It looked like steak. Moms was cooking it in the pan. I was like, yeah, let me get some. She's like, you ain't gonna want it. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. That first bite ruined my life, man. I've never been the same. Whenever I smell liver, it just turns my stomach. I don't know how people can eat it. I don't care how many onions and green peppers and soy sauce or whatever you put on it. It's still liver. I'm sorry.
And that's what happened with me with chitlins. It's like I've had like so many different ways. Like, I will try these out. Like, and I'm just like, I can't rock. I've had them over rice and all this stuff. It's just not my thing, dude. And I'm a foodie. Okay, I'm a foodie. I eat damn near anything, you know. But like, I just can't get with the chitlin thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's nice to have a nice spread. Well, since you brought it up, you know, I can't wait for Thanksgiving because we always have a nice little seafood mix with the Thanksgiving. I had some crab legs, some shrimp, turkey, ham. Have you ever had duck for Thanksgiving, man?
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I asked somebody, it's like, nah, we don't do duck. That's disgusting. Like, no, it's not. Duck is delicious. You haven't tried it.
I love duck.
Yeah, man, that's one of the best ones. I can eat a whole duck by myself, though.
Yeah,
I actually have before.
Been there, done that.
My family got mad.
You know. So what are your plans for Thanksgiving, homie?
Gonna spend some time with the nieces and nephews, mom and my sis. You know, have some fun with the kids. Just enjoy some Redskin football because it's Redskins Cowboys for Thanksgiving, and it's going to be a huge matchup. So I'll be definitely watching that. Probably on Facebook Live, you know, doing our post game and engaging with our Great Sports on the Hill podcast and Tru Radio Network fans.
Nice. I realized it was so close, so I started scrambling, and I almost posted on Facebook to like, where am I eating Thanksgiving at? Mm-hmm. But I was like, my family would automatically say come over, and since they're not going to be paying attention to the show, I can talk about them.
That's the best time.
Yeah, because and I just I was like, you know, they're going to invite me over, and I thought about like how I don't want to deal with the family drama, the family holiday drama. So I'm gonna hook up with some homegirls of mine and, you know, go over there. It's a friend of mine. Shout out to Celeste, and her sister. Shout out to, I forgot your name right now, and I'm sorry. You know, sis. She's savage. She's savage though. Her sister, Holly. I know your name. And so I'm gonna go over there and party with them. My folks out there in Maryland. So we're just gonna get it in. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, it's gonna be a really good time, and I don't have to deal with like family stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just our
love you guys, but don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, it's just our immediate family. You know, my moms, my sisters, my nieces and nephew. So yeah, we've never really had a big intermingling family with the cousins and all that. We've never really done that in my family. We've always just been the intermediate, so we've never had really none of that family drama that you see at the, you know, family reunions and cookouts. You know, we don't really have that issue, thank God.
We've been there and done that.
Too many times.
And then it spills over to Facebook or social media or whatever.
Well, this was before then. So.
Yeah.
This was before Facebook for us, so yeah. Well, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. You know, to swing it a little bit back to our president, right? Just like a little bit.
Just a little.
Just like a little bit back to our president, right? I don't understand how he can actually attack the media on a daily basis. But what's scarier, right, is he says the term fake news, and everybody eats the term up. You know, because now you have people on both sides using the term.
Yep.
You know, Republicans call anything anti-Trump fake news, anything. Like I have to be very careful when I post news. So I usually post from like NBC. Yeah, like I feel like that's neutral enough. Yeah, and BBC. Yeah. And someone come, oh my God, that's fake news. I'm like, dude, it's real. It's real news. Like, you know,
it's amazing.
But then you have people. Well, now you have people on the left also calling outlets like Fox and Republican outlets fake news. So Trump coined the term, and everyone gave it life. And I find that disturbing about today's society. You know,
it's a follow me generation. You know, our generation was brought up to stand out, be different. You know, don't be afraid to not fall in line with the status quo. But now folks are afraid to express themselves because you got folks that get butthurt or offended at any given thing just because they want to have something to say, even if it's, you know, trying to downgrade somebody else for them trying to better themselves. So it's a follow generation now. Is no one has the original thought or the original mindset to try to keep these things going. So it's like they don't they don't want to conform to the way things supposed to be or way things were, but then they don't want to stand out and make their own self different. They just want to fall in line with the latest trend, like you were saying with the dreads and the skinny jeans. Like that's all you see when you go around the city. Is like everybody is a clone. There's a Lil Wayne clone. They got dreads, tattoos, and skinny jeans hanging off their ass. And that you all go through the city or through Maryland, that's all you see. And no one wants to stand out. I'm the one that stand out with regular straight leg jeans and a baggy hoodie. Like, where'd you get that from? The 90s? No, I got it from my closet because I'm a grown man and I'm not wearing little kids' clothes like you. It's crazy. I don't understand how these dudes walking around wearing these skinny jeans hanging off their ass for one, and then want to talk to a female when you're showing that you have no package. You're smooth as a Ken doll, dog. I do security. I'm not patting you down because all I gotta do is look at you. Nah, you ain't packing nothing. Go ahead, dog. You good. But they find this, because it's a style, they conform to it. But I don't understand. Now, I make this joke all the time. But I didn't know that men could get yeast infections. But I said, I don't understand why you want to wear the same size jeans as your girl and both of y'all have matching Monostat 7 tubes in the medicine cabinet, because both of y'all have yeast. And I never knew a man could get a yeast infection, but apparently you can.
Is that true?
Yeah, I found out. Yeah, men can get yeast infections.
I didn't know that.
I googled it. I made the joke, and I was like, well, let me see if it's true. And by God, it's true. Men can have yeast infections. I don't know if it's just from wearing skinny jeans, but apparently a man can get a yeast infection, dog. I don't know if this new millennial thing or I don't know.
You may have just changed my life. I had no idea. Real funny end of the show story. Speaking of yeast infections, right?
Oh, Lord.
Since we're winding down and everything, I remember I was dating this amazing chick, federal government worker. She made I think it's $120,000 a year, right? Mm-hmm. And she calls me, and I was cheating. Don't get me wrong. I was dogging them. That was back in my prime, before I put up a picture of my daughter, and they're all like, well, "Hey, you're a happy dad. Go fuck yourself," And so next thing I know, right, she calls me over, and she is pissed, and she's like, real name Jason, of course, Black GP on the show.
Yes, sir.
It's like, Jason, I'm itching, and I'm this and I'm that. And I think you gave me something. Oh. And let me tell you, I had just been with a joint. Like before the last time we messed around, I was with a joint the day before, right? Like a different joint.
Yeah, remember them days.
Yeah. And so I was like, damn, maybe I did. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, maybe I did. So I swear to God, I was about to tap out and be like, I'm sorry. Yes, I was with another woman. I was about to. And so I just had to get my senses together. So I just go to the bathroom real quick. You know what I mean? You know to go to the bathroom in the middle of the fight, delay, like get yourself a couple minutes, right? So I go in the bathroom, and I see that she has new soap. And she usually uses yellow soap, but this soap was white. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, wait a minute. So I come out the bathroom. I say, you have new soap, right? She's like, yeah. I was like, but it's white. So it threw off your pH balance. Mm-hmm. That's where the itching's coming from. And I was right.
Yeah. A woman's body is very sensitive to changes. They don't realize that, but we do, because we have to be aware of that. And because we have to be psychic. Be honest. We have to be psychic when it comes to women. So we have to know all, foresee all, and see every other pitfall and curve that they're going to see.
Yep.
But they are so quick to assume, oh, that nigga ain't shit. He done did something dirty. And don't even take into account that you've changed your soap and you're itching because your skin, is irritated, not because you're unfaithful man that was faithful in this occasion because he didn't give you anything.
This close to giving it up. This close to being like, you know what, I'm sorry. I got to call her.
The shaggy defense. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
She's like, well, who are you with?
Yep.
Folks, once again, this show is dedicated to Gigi, Sheeta P's grandmother. She'll definitely be here next week, and we love you, Gigi, and much love, and it was cool, being able to send a tribute to her, and I'm even getting emotional because I talked to her just last week, and she said, I called because sometimes Sheeta will call from Sheeta's phone or her grandmother's phone, whichever one isn't, because she doesn't charge either one of them. She never charges anything. So sometimes she'll call from her grandmother's phone. So I called her grandmother's phone back, and Gigi picked up. But I've met Gigi before.
Yeah.
And she's like, hello. And I said, hey, Gigi, what's up? And she goes, hey. And then she told me, Sheeta's on her phone at that time. But that was the last time I spoke to her, and it was like a week before everything happened. So much love, Gigi. Guys, thank you for joining us here at WLVS Radio. This is Tru Radio, representatives of Tru Radio Network. Kerry, you want to get us out of here, bro?
You know it. As always, CP3, live from WLVS. Make sure you check us out tomorrow night for the Redskins weekly preview breakdown show. Make sure you check us out Monday night, 7 to 9 for Sports on the Hill podcast. And just check out my page, Carol Porter III. We're going to be streaming live from Redskins game. Me and Robbie, Sports on the Hill podcast, tailgating with the fans.
He's Jewish.
Pre-game, post-game, and doing it up big. So make sure you tune in. My birthday tomorrow, so make sure you check us out because we'll be down there partying, having a good time. And I might be out there with my bottle this weekend. I'm going to pull a black GOP and pull up with a bottle.
Hey, come on through, dude. Let's get it. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
sir.
I might swing by. You see that water management? How, I made this whole show last week. That is perfect, dude. Folks, we'll see.
Glove.
We'll be talking to you next week, folks. Have a good one.
Peace.